Hello, Math here. A couple of weeks back, I started on my 5k in 5 weeks challenge. In my first week, I managed to make almost £1,500. Now let's find out how I got on in the next few weeks and see if I managed to stay on target. Now this challenge was to try and hit 5 grand in 5 weeks by making £1,000 per week, which is a target of £200 per day. Now before we jump into the live trades, let's have a look at my performance analysis over the previous 3 weeks. On the 26th of November, we can see where I had my catastrophic loss of £5,075. And from there I commenced the 5k challenge. Now in the first week from the 29th to the 3rd, I made a steady incline in profit and hit £1,500. From the 6th until the 10th, again I made a nice steady profit, banking just over £1,000. And as we go into the 3rd week, the 13th to the 17th, again we see the same consistent profit, banking almost £1,300, which puts me at a total so far at the end of the week at around £3,800. which is about £800 over my current target. But then I make another blunder and I lose over £1,000. Not again. How could I let this happen again? I think I'd gotten a bit cocky over the past 3 weeks of steady gains, which to be fair was probably the most consistently profitable period of my trading career, but I took my eye off the ball and I placed a really poorly judged trade and I didn't close it quickly and I ended up taking another big dent to my profits. So annoying. It's like getting a big snake in Snakes and Ladders and finding yourself back down at the bottom after all that hard work. But if we ignore that loss for a second and look at where I started, which was with a capital of £3,500, within 4 weeks I had made a profit of £3,800. That means I had doubled my account in a month. Now that's amazing. And something I always imagined took much longer to do. Obviously this is achieved by using maximum leverage on every trade, which isn't advisable, especially if you are inexperienced. So if you're new to this, please don't get ahead of yourself and think you can be a millionaire in a year's time. This also isn't the best mindset one should have as a trader, because constantly chasing certain figures and milestones can make you greedy and impatient and irrational. So I don't advise trading in this way. Now having said that, let's have a look at a few of the live trades from the past couple of weeks. Now this first one here is on the open of the FTSE. Let's have a look back over the chart to see what happened in the pre-market. And we can see that there has been a long, steady rally for the past 12 hours, creating space to possibly come back down again. Or it could continue to steam ahead. So let's have a look at the price action and let that help us decide. Now the market's just opened and the price jumps about for the first minute or so as usual, so we wait a moment to see what direction it wants to go. There have been no significant spikes up to continue the rally, so we'll look at this first resistance level here and see if it wants to break it or not. It's touched that level and come back down, and now the candle's turned red, and so that is where I take a short position. Not a great open, to be honest. It's very choppy and it hasn't formed a clear V shape. But it's there, and my entry is in a good position as it's at the top of the upside down V. Now, I'm going to hold on to this and ride it down to the support level, which will be about here. But what I'll do is aim to walk away with my profit before it hits the level, because this is where the price is likely to reverse again, as that's where many other traders will be taking their profits too, causing the price to jump. So we want to get out quick and before everyone else does. And that's where I'll take my profit of £91. Not bad. Next, on to the Dow Jones at market open. Let's have a look back over the chart and see what's happening in the pre-market. We can see a big spike up just before midday, but it has since come back down to roughly the same sort of area it was before that big spike, indicating to us that the price possibly has the potential to go back up to that level again. However, it might decide to keep dropping, so again we'll look at the price action to help us. So we're into the second minute of the open, and you can see a huge wick on that first red candle. It's now turned green and looking strong with good upward momentum. So I go for a long position. Now usually I wouldn't jump in so quickly, but based on the previous big spike up at midday, I feel pretty confident that we can get back up to that level. Now my theory is playing out nicely, And again, I'm not going to wait until it hits that previous high, as that is probably where many other traders will be waiting to take their profits too, which will cause the price to drop. So I'll just take it over halfway and bank a nice $300. Nice. Now this last one is another open on the Dow. We see that the market has just opened and the price is currently at the highest point of the week. So my instinct is that it's got to come back down again. We see it's been on a long rally since 11 AM, creating lots of room for the price to fall. But again, let's look at the price action. We've had a green candle and the same size red candle. Now the third is a green candle, but with no significant spike upwards. It comes up to test that top level and immediately drops a fair bit. So we'll wait to see if we get a red candle next. And there it is. So we go for a short position and down it comes. Now once again, I'm going to ride it down to just before this first level of support, because once it hits here, it could reverse again. So I walk away banking $150. Not bad. Now remember, this doesn't always work out. It's a strategy, not an exact science. But if you practice looking out for trends, identifying space for the price to move, and most importantly understanding and interpreting price action, then you have a really good chance at getting it right more often than getting it wrong. But it takes a lot of practice with the demo account, and as we found out, it takes a lot of discipline to be able to cut a losing trade and not hold on to it with the hope that it will come back in your favour. So I've got 2 more weeks of my challenge left to go, but I'm a bit behind on my target now after taking that hit of £1,000. So we'll see if I can make up for it in my last couple of weeks. So look out for that soon. And in the meantime, help me to grow the channel by showing some love with a likey and subscribey. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.